Hey everyone, Professor Kelsey here. I am touching base with you all to share the updated class plan after our missing recordings last week. I had no idea the recordings were not available until Thursday of last week when one of our lovely students emailed to let me know. And I went to try to find them in my own YouTube channel and they're gone. So somehow I must have accidentally deleted those videos. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you for bearing with me. And here's the updated class plan. One, everyone got credit for last week's quiz. Because not all of the material was there, it wasn't fair for me to assess you on that. And I didn't want to backpile all your work by making you wait. So everybody got 10 out of 10 points on last week's exercise quiz. Some of the cardio lectures were still there. The exercise principles lecture was still there. You were just missing cardio lecture part 2 and resistance training. For this week, I have added in 2 exercise lectures from one of my dear close colleagues, Catherine Hardy, who is a brilliant instructor covering the topics that we've missed. I'll have to go back and record these lectures later, but I wanted to make sure to get these to you as fast as possible. Because they're not my usual lectures and because they're pushed back a week, I don't want you to have to crunch some of last week's material in with this week. So I've done a couple other things. You were going to have assignment 2, develop a workout, due this week. I pushed that back to next week and I made it extra credit now. It's a pretty big assignment. So that's going to be worth 3% of your class grade if you do it for extra credit. Most extra credits are only worth 1% of your class grade. So that will be due next week as extra credit if you choose to do it. If you do not choose to do it, you won't miss any points. And then we'll be back on track for things starting the following week, looking at your nutrition assignment. That will be your next big one coming up. Now we'll be due week 6. The other thing is I gave you one more extra credit assignment that you could check out and do this week if you want to. And this one is looking at online exercise resources. And basically it's just a discussion board where you can go and kind of poke around online or share resources that you already like. Again, it's not mandatory, but a lot of inline and on-person students ask me, hey, what are some good fitness websites where I can do online workouts or research and find resources? And I know some, but not as many as you all probably know. So that's what this discussion board is for, is just to share online resources that you have related to fitness. That one is due at the end of this week, but again, it's extra credit, 1% of your class grade. So feel free to choose to do it or not. Otherwise, we should be back on track besides that. Thank you for bearing with me. And hopefully this actually works out in your favor in terms of maybe a little bit less work or extra credit for the work that you do. All right, take care, everybody.